This is the Lawrence County Sportsnet, powered by LCAP.
About to bring gold back to Lawrence County.
Your home for the County of Champions.
And how sweet it is! A state gold medal for the Union Scotties!
And the Neshannock Lancers are your 2A softball champions. The trophy lifted high.
The 10th seed Union Scotties are WPIAL champions.
Not a Cinderella story, a championship story here.
And your 2023 WPIL 2A Girls Champions, the Shenango Wildcats.
The pitch from Bruce, here it comes. Look at this! Union wins it! The Union Scotties have rallied to win the WPIAL Championship.
The top local athletes and the top sports moments all featured here, live or archived at lcsportsnet.com.
7 seconds. Worker down inside and alley-oop the young gun.
She'll strike it and score!
Featuring over 100 broadcasts of county events in over a dozen sports. Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County Sportsnet.
Coming to you live from the Cavelli Fieldhouse for WPIAL basketball action here on the Lawrence County Sportsnet, powered by LCAP. As tonight we have a Class 1A Section 1 matchup. The Union Scotties hosting the Carlynton Cougars. Tonight's broadcast on the Lawrence County Sportsnet and the Triple Live High School Sports Network. It's brought to you by MVP Insurance, by Luxembourg, Arbit, Kelly & George, by Maley Chiropractic, by Castle Asphalt, by the Newcastle Transit Authority, by the Red Zone, by Penn Ohio Bottled Water, by Medore Bonner Law, by Health and Motion Physical Therapy, by Pontius Insurance, by Doran Concrete, Works in Progress Paint Services, Gem Builders Incorporated, the City Rescue Mission, by the Tri-County Principals Association, the Union Volunteer Fire Department, the Union Area Education Association, and Lawrence County Community Action Partnership. I'm James Dotson with Chris Birch alongside. We had a overtime JV game, so we are about 15 minutes behind schedule. Why not? Carlynton able to get that JV victory 76-62, and they're looking to get a second victory against the Scotties. Union coming in a 4-1 section record, but their only section loss coming to these Carlynton Cougars, who are 2-3 in section play, 3-11 overall. And as you look at this game, Chris, you don't like to say must win for regular season games, especially when you're the team that's in first place right now in the section, as Union is, but kind of feels that way for the Scotties.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about it. And, one thing, James, that you and I kind of were talking about some things off air, and neither one of us mentioned this to each other. They played each other on January 3rd, Carlynton getting that win down there on January 3rd. Since then, the Union Scotties are 5-1, and Carlynton is 1-4. So even though Carlynton obviously got that big win, to start the new year at Carlynton against this Union team, since then, Union seems to be getting better and better. Carlynton all of a sudden is struggling a little bit, so that's something maybe to kind of keep your eye on in this, in this one, as far as what way the two teams are trending.
That is a good point. The trends are important here. You're in the trend zone, and trending the wrong way in terms of injury, I think, is a big part of the Carlynton offense and Carlynton team as a whole. Here's what we'll be talking about throughout the course of the evening. In fact, at quick count, they are only dressing 10 on the evening. We'll break that down. We'll break this matchup down. We're about 12 minutes away from tip-off. Scotties and Cougars back in a moment here on the Lawrence County Sportsnet, powered by LCAP.
For 20 years, Maley Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Maley Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Maley Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Mathur and David Verratti want to provide you with a level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of the locations in Xenia Opal or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win. Proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County Sportsnet.
For more than 120 years, people have been relying upon Martindale Hubbell's AV preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you're involved in a workers' compensation situation, you should do the same. LGKG has been AV rated for over 40 years.
About 10 minutes away from tip-off here between Union and Carlynton here at lcsportsnet.com. We have one other game going on our network tonight, Mohawk against Elwood City. That one has already tipped. You can flip on over on our YouTube channel or watching on Facebook Live or True Live High School Sports Network or the NFHS Network. Plenty of ways you can check us out. Both these games, we'll keep you tabs on that one throughout the course of the night. Shenango is hosting Laurel in another county against county matchup here this evening as well. Newcastle against North Allegheny at home, and Wilmington against Grove City at home, rounding out the slew of games across the family of network here tonight. Chris Birch alongside for the ride here again at Union High School, and we kind of alluded to it here in our intro, Chris, and this game for sure comes down to teams that are trending in opposite directions. The injury bug, as a coach, I mean, you've gone through it.
Yeah.
When you have players who've been in and out of the lineup with injuries, what is it that you can look to do, even in practice, to try to get yourself, to your best possible performances?
Well, it's one of those deals where sometimes when you lose a player to injury, it's not so much just that player that you lose. It's that now all of a sudden everybody else has got to play a different role. I had one of my coaching mentors used to call those bubbles. There's like all of a sudden you move this spot to this spot, but somewhere there's going to be a bubble. There's going to be somewhere that you can't fill it in. And, certainly when you look at this Carlynton team, two guys aren't here from the first game. One guy, new guy, is here.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a different team, especially the way Carlynton likes to play. They press baseline to baseline nonstop. They just want to make it so you can't run your offense, try to make it crazy. But if they don't have any depth, there's no way you can do that for 32 minutes.
No, absolutely, and that's why they were so successful last year. Both these teams losing a multitude of seniors from last year's teams. They played 4 times last year, Chris.
That's amazing.
And it is amazing. I mean, section foes, meaning 4 times. The first time they played right here at the Cavelli Fieldhouse last year, it was a Matt Stanley and one with 2 seconds remaining in the game, a coast-to-coast and one that got Union a 2-point victory. Then they go down to Carlynton, and Union's able to get a squeaker there, a 3-point victory. Then in the playoffs, it was a completely different animal. It was kind of the Lucas Stanley arrival in that Carlynton game down at Montour in the DeKalb semifinals. That was an 80-58 victory, and then a mercy rule victory, actually, in the PIAA quarterfinals when they played the 4th time. It was an incredible, again, maybe a team that just keeps on improving throughout the course of the year. That's what Union was last year, and you know what? It feels like that's what they are this year because, as you mentioned, since that loss, they have now won 5 of their last 6 games, have the Scotties.
5 of their last 6, and even the loss was good, James. They lost to Farrell by 6 at Westminster College. So, I mean, they've really been playing well, since that loss. And you look at the coaching staff at this Union team. Obviously, I know you think a lot of Mark. Mark's one of the best coaches in the entire Commonwealth of PA, and I'm sure that loss was surprising down there. Like, in other words, everybody's going to say the right things and Carlynton's good. They didn't think they were going to go down there and lose, and they did. And I think probably that was a good wake-up call for everybody. And as good programs and good coaches do, once that game happened, this Union team has really come back with some purpose.
And, I mean, I think you know something when you're now in your, 488th game as a varsity head coach, as Coach Mark Stanley is. This is his 2nd stint at his alma mater, his 10th year in his 2nd stint. And, by the way, since he's come back as head coach, his teams haven't missed the playoffs.
Right. No, I mean, that's, and Mark didn't need to coach 400 and some games to know what he was doing. He knew what he was doing when he started. And, there's no doubt. He's seen it all. He's done it all. And, I mean, this is certainly a different bunch than he's had the last several years. And, they got off to a tough start playing that great schedule, right? Kind of a schedule that was made based on the teams that they had in the past. So they took their lumps. They got better. They went down to Carlynton and lost that game. Like I said, I'm sure they didn't think they were going to go down there and lose. And since then, they've just been playing terrific, and I expect that to continue into tonight.
I talked to Coach early in the year. When they started with losses in 5 of their first 6 games, and I just asked him about that, and he said, "Look, I don't care who we have out there in the court. I'm not going to learn anything by winning games by 50. We're going to play whoever, and we're going to go and we'll lose by 30 in games too, but we'll learn a lot more than that. And you can talk about that as a coach too. You're going to learn a heck of a lot more playing against that tougher competition, even if you are losing by double-digit scores consistently.
Right, and this was this was obviously a group last year with the 10 seniors that graduated, plus the guys that are getting all the playing time this year. That combination of people, they were ready to take on the 3 and 4 and 5A powerhouses, and so they played those teams again this year, and they lost some close games and even got took it on the chin a couple of times, but you find out a lot about yourself, and now here it is, late January, heading into February, now talking about playoffs and seeding and section champions and all championships. All those games did early in the year was prepare this team for all of these challenges that now come. And nobody remembers what happened in December.
Right.
It's how you feel about a season is what happened in late February and into March for this program, certainly in the last several years.
So we'll see how that adjustment continues and the next man up mentality continues over the course of this playoff run. We're going to take another break, and we'll come back. Chris Birch will have a conversation with Coach Mark Stanley. That's when we return. Union against Carlynton coming up next here on the Lawrence County Sportsnet, powered by LCAP.
Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of them.
Nominations are now being accepted for the LCAP Team of the Month and the LGKG Male and Female Athlete of the Month. Log on to lcsportsnet.com/awards to nominate your favorite team or athlete today.
Cold winds blowing, temperatures dropping, and snow is beginning to fall. And then your furnace goes out. LCAP's LIHEAP Crisis Program is here to help. If your furnace is blowing cold air, not turning on, or not reaching the desired temperature, help is right around the corner, whether it needs fixed or replaced. For information, call the Department of Healthy Homes at 724-656-0090. LCAP's Healthy Home programs are the key to safer living.
When injuries get you sidelined, don't trust just anyone to get you back on the field. Visit Health in Motion Physical Therapy in Shenango Township. They want to get you back to the top of your game as quickly as possible with certified orthopedic and manual therapies. At Health in Motion, you receive quality one-on-one time with a board-certified physical therapist. Get the next generation of physical therapy to help in your recovery. Health in Motion is the first PT clinic in Western Pennsylvania to use the Nuvie, the neurobioelectric stimulator, in their therapies. Their technologies can reduce your time on the sideline from 3 or 4 weeks to just 3 or 4 days. Don't wait for months to see improvement. Notice a difference after your first visit to Health in Motion, keeping you moving.
For more than 120 years, people have relied on Martindale Hubbell's preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you've been involved in an automobile accident, you should do the same. At LGKG, we have been preeminently rated for over 40 years.
Game number 6 in the past 13 months. This Carlynton team, you went down there earlier this season, lost a tough 2-point ball game. Coach, a certain team that you're familiar with, played them this week, game number 6. We're back on Lawrence County Sportsnet, and I'm joined by Union head coach Mark Stanley. And Coach, certainly a team that you're familiar with. Played them. This will be game number 6 in the past 13 months. This Carlynton team. You went down there earlier this season, lost a tough 2-point ball game. What are some of the things that make this Carlynton team a tough matchup?
Well, they play hard. They get after you, and what they do is they make you do things like you got to play. Mm-hmm. There's not much you can run against them. They get after you. I tell the kids, I said, we got to make shots, take care of the basketball. They're well coached. We're very familiar with them, and they're familiar with us. And down there, I'll admit, and I think their coach, we talked after, it was an ugly game. And hopefully both teams have improved and it's a better game. But, definitely got to take care of the ball. When you get their looks, knock them down and, shoot good, look good. So hopefully we shoot better than we did down there.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you about that. Obviously, we were talking off air. You guys had a little bit of trouble scoring. Any particular plans tonight to get some of your guys that struggle to score in that game going, or is it just going to be a matter of we got to break the press and knock down shots?
Yeah, well, we work on it every day, so you hope you get better at it. We had our best shooter was in foul trouble. He sat the second quarter. Braylon sat the whole second quarter. So our 2 leading scorers, and 11 points at halftime. There's times if we didn't have 11 points in the first 2 minutes of the game, you get nervous. So, and every year's different, but in every game, and like I said, moving forward is when you get the shots, knocking down. If you don't, follow up, hit the boards. Offensive rebounding is key when you're playing teams that play zone. So we've been working on it. We'll see if it works.
Right. Coach, always great catching up with you. Obviously I had a chance to really kind of follow your team last year in the playoffs. Coming back this year with obviously a lot of new faces. You got things rolling again, tied for the top of the section. Congrats on all that, and certainly thanks for taking some time with us, and good luck tonight.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're here. And I think last time you were here, we won, so
yes,
you're good luck.
Yeah, we were 4-0 with me last year.
Okay, well, that's great. Then you might be here the rest of the way.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Sounds good. All right, James, back to you. Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. Great job there, getting a chance to talk with Coach Stanley, and for his sake and your sake, hoping that it does become a 5-0 scenario here for.
Yeah, that was at home. I, of course,
that was at home,
covered
yes.
the Whippeal Championship game, and that didn't count.
Well, at the Fieldhouse, 4-0. We'll take that for sure. Your starting lineups being announced right now. They're brought to you by Doran Concrete, laying the foundation for your team. Visit doranconcrete.com for your free estimate today, and don't let just anyone lay the foundation for your home or business. Jaden McKnight, Tay Dean, Jake Medolvin, Ryan Lewis, and Justin Williams, the starting 5 for Carlynton. We'll turn it over to the PA system because it's lights out here at the Cavelli Fieldhouse. So for the Scotties, Lucas Stanley, the junior, and the 4 seniors, Braylon Thomas, Andrew Gettings, Dane Jonke, and Grayson Blakely. Lucas Stanley, real quick, he's now the leading scoring threat. He came off the bench last year, averaged about 15 points a game in the playoffs.
Right.
And now as the leading scoring threat here offensively, 20 points per game so far this year for Union. Not surprising, I guess we should say, but impressive what he's been able to do.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of called it earlier. Last year that playoff game was kind of his coming out party. As always, he's 7 for 7 or something from 3-point land, and he carried that momentum through the playoffs and now into the this season, his first season as a starter. He's been terrific, and that was the one thing. He got into a little bit of foul trouble down at Carlynton. And didn't do a whole lot of scoring, so going to need him to get going.
Union in the home whites, Carlynton in the road greens, and it's going to be a controlled tip by Carlynton. Reuben first going from right to left. How about that? Right up and under. Devontae Dean getting a chance to talk about it. This is only his 3rd game back from injury. He gets the first bucket of the game. And a whistle as he steps on the sideline there will be possession staying with Union.
And you heard Coach Stan talk about it. They just make you you can't run your plays. You got to play. They're going to double you. They're going to leave. You got to just make adjustment, make reads, and keep attacking this defense.
Union now with their first offensive possession. You can see already, though, what this crazy sprawling defense is going to be for the Cougars. This 3-ball in and out for Blakely. Offensive rebound. Trying to work his way back in is Jonke, unable to get a shot back up. But a second possession, that's right there against the zone, something you want. But right as you say that, something you don't want. The tip and the turnover. Good defensive play coming back, though, at least altering the shot.
Yeah, no question. That was great hustle and great defense that time by Gettings.
That shot from the elbow, no good, but another offensive rebound. Gettings trying to answer with a 3 of his own, no good. Another offensive rebound. Jonke, the third offensive rebound for the Scotties in the opening period, and he gets the first bucket of the game for them.
Yeah, Jonke working hard on the offensive boards. Yeah, all right, they're going to get
moving screen.
Tay Dean just absolutely kind of hauled off and tried to push Stanley out of the way, and they did it right in front of the official.
Yeah, not going to get away with that one.
No.
So tied at 2 here, just a minute into tonight's game. Scotties tied with Rochester at the top of the section standings. Lucas Stanley in and out on his 3-ball. Another offensive rebound. Back to Lucas Stanley, right in with the right hand layup, up and in.
Yeah, really good work on the O boards. Both baskets a result of offensive rebounds.
4 offensive rebounds, and now a steal defensively as Lucas gets his hands on the ball. Bounce pass through traffic, able to somehow get it to Jonke in the lane. He steps back, his shot though altered. No good on the attempt. 4-2 in the early going. Union with the lead. Mentioned they're tied with Rochester at 4-1 in section play. Avella 3-2, and then Carlynton at 2-3. So big for the Cougars to get a win to secure that potential 4th and final playoff spot. But that's their 3rd turnover in the opening 2 minutes of play, Chris.
Yeah, I know. No doubt. And you can see, I mean, but this game is, Coach Stan called it, he described it as ugly the first time. And, I mean, that is just exactly what Carlynton's trying to do here, is make the game ugly, muck it up a little bit. And sure enough, they're at it again, but Union able to answer.
Pass into the paint. Jonke saves him out of bounds. Extra pass back out to Braylon Thomas for 3. Nothing but net. His 23rd 3-ball of the year, and that 3-point stroke has been improving over the course of the year as well.
That's just great hustle to save that loose ball, get it out to Edwards, and he knocks it down.
Shot in the lane, no good, and Stanley will get the rebound. Thomas had a game-high 19 points in the first game. He gets the assist here as he finds the open man.
Yeah, Braylon Thomas just improving all aspects of his game. Great pass there, too.
And a Ponch's Insurance timeout as Union is on a 9-2 run. Carlynton will take that timeout, and it's impressive to see. I mean, that combination we saw so lethal throughout the entire football season, but both the Braylon Thomas and Jay Rona at Mohawk, they're number 2 scoring options for their respective teams, but guess what? They both lead their team in assists the same way. It's kind of funny how that quarterback mentality sticks with you onto the basketball court.
Right, no doubt. And, obviously, Thomas is he's played a variety of roles for this program, and right now he's supposed to be the number 2 scorer. But, yeah, there's no doubt he did a great job there seeing people, and he's been doing that all year. So it looks like Union's going to come and press themselves here a little bit, James, as they Carlynton's been pressing them, and Union's been breaking it. Now the Scotties are going to throw a little press at Carlynton themselves.
And they're going to get their first sub in the game. Mike Gunn back on the basketball court for the first time since middle school. Anxious to see him on the baseball field again here in a couple of months' time. 3-ball from McKnight is off the mark, no good, and Thomas will get the rebound. Quickly coming up the court. No-look pass, finds Gunn down low, but it's stripped away as McKnight got the ball, now has the 3-on-1 the other direction. Bounce pass to Williams, no good, but he was fouled on the way back by Blakely, so 2 free throws coming there. That's just the case there of Gunn brought the ball down just too much, and the 6-foot senior McKnight said thank you very much.
Right, yeah, no doubt. So, yeah, I mean, it's, 5 minutes to go here, down 9-2. Obviously, if you're Carlynton, this is kind of a crucial moment in this game, as, we know they can come back with the way they play and the way they press, but you don't want to get down to this Union team too much here.
This one rattles around and finally does make its way down, so splitting the pair there at the line was Williams. He'll check out of the contest. The freshman will give him as our Health and Motion newbie of the game. Health and Motion Physical Therapy just across the street now in Westgate Plaza with Grassetti Performance. Check them out. The only PT clinic using newbie stimulator technology. How about this little different zone action?
Packed in 2-3 zone. Kind of the old traditional 2-3.
Losing his footing was Blakely, and he has to save it from going out of bounds. It's going to be stolen away. So back-to-back steals, but able to knock it out of bounds, and it's actually last batch touch off Carlynton. So good job in transition defensively each of the last 2 times. You give up a steal, Chris, you don't give up and you make the play.
No question. Great job by Mike Gunn getting back there and kind of knocking it away. So, yeah. Okay, now Carlynton back into that press to see if they go the press and then fall back into that 2-3 zone.
Thomas with possession. Splits 2, 3 defenders, finds the soft spot in the zone. No good on the shot. Offensive rebound, though, is tipped to Blakely. Another offensive rebound. Stanley can't get the shot to go, and this time strong rebound from Lewis.
Yeah, boy, Carlynton does have some guys that can, kind of get up and get on the boards. That's for sure.
15-foot jumper on the other end. Air biscuit from Moldovan. He was one of the 3 players who were in double figures for Carlynton in the first game. No good on the shot, but a foul against Jonke on the rebound. His first, team second of the quarter.
Yeah, Jonke just kind of fighting for position there, but said that he went over the back.
Moldovan trying to inbound into the front court. Able to get it to Lewis. Lewis guarded there by Galmarini, who just checked in. Ball stripped away by Stanley. 5 turnovers in the opening 4 minutes for Carlynton. Stanley to the rack, up and in.
Carlynton, Stanley, great take there. McKnight trying to take the charge there, just did not get the feet set. Good no call by the official.
And then a travel on the other end. Explain that, why that's a good no call.
Well, because there wasn't a whole lot of contact, maybe not enough for a blocking foul, but he kind of set up for a charge, but Stanley went up off of 2 feet, avoided the hard contact. So it's not a charge, but it's not really a block either. It's just a good play by the offensive player,
Great analysis there from Coach. Maybe a future officiating there for Mr. Birch.
I don't know about that.
Well, we'll gladly keep you here then.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a travel at the other end as McKnight loses his footing. Oh, we're trying to get you prepared because guess what? You're going to be a guest speaker whether you know it or not. Union, one of just 2 schools in the Mercer and Lawrence County area, they just adopted the PIAA officiating course here for next school year.
Okay. All right.
So we're going to need some experts like yourself or like Mr. Anthony Stanley, assistant coach / official.
Oh, yeah, I know. I hear he's a very good young official. That's awesome.
Thomas open in the corner for 3, rattles around, but no good. Another offensive rebound, 6th of the quarter.
Wow.
For the Scotties, and 6 points now for Lucas Stanley.
That's the story of the game, right? I mean, it's starting to look like a real blowout here, but it's all been about offensive rebounds.
And Union has more points in the first 5 minutes of this game than they had in the entire first half down at Carlynton, but a big answer here for Tay Dean's going to get the and 1.
Yeah, that's a great job there by Carlynton. Good answer.
Stanley picks up his first, and Tay Dean, again, only his 3rd game back from injury. Missed the first 11 games of the year, 12 games of the year, actually.
Okay, he makes a difference. He's a player. He's got some skills and certainly some athletic ability.
And when there have been so many players who've been in and out of the lineup over the course of the season, that's a nice piece to be able to just plug in.
Yeah.
Though, again, only dressing 10 tonight. Tough situation for the Cougars. Skip pass over to Stanley. Passes on the 3, drives in, and he's got 8 points now, all inside the arc.
Yeah, he's really scoring. He got really admonished by Dad there for that last foul. But comes back and makes a really good, strong move to the basket and scores.
Moldovan will cross the timeline. He averages 7 a game, gives it to the leading scorer, McKnight, just shy of 14 a game for him. 2 of the mainstays in this lineup. Nice give and go into the lane. McKnight off the window and in for his first bucket.
Yeah, good. He's like the definition of a slasher. Just got to the hoop there, found a seam, and made a basket. Carlynton kind of back in this game a little bit.
Another skip pass. Stanley tries from deep and finally gets one to go. He's got 11 points himself in the first quarter.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah, what a great – you love seeing that. Guy gets kind of yelled at by the coach. Stands there, looks at him, looks him in the eyes and takes it and then answers with a couple of baskets.
Good job by McKnight to avoid any potential over and back call. Kicks it back out. Moldovan open for 3 in the corner. No good, but he was hit on the way up. That's going to be 3 free throws coming for Jake Moldovan. We didn't get a chance to introduce our officials tonight. Matt Nemec, Lenny Leeper, and Tim Hammond.
Good.
Our men in stripes.
Yeah, good crew. Really good crew.
Second foul against Dane Jonke. Well, might be a good crew. Coach Stanley not exactly pleased with that one. But
No. He's not saying anything to the official. He's making fun of his own player to the official, who's amused. Yeah.
That's a new one. That's a new tactic.
I know that one. See, I know that one too. Yeah.
And they accidentally made the substitutions too soon because it was a 3-shot foul. So they're going to have to bring the players back on the court.
You think about the scoring barrage here of Lucas Stanley and this Union team in this first quarter, but it's Carlynton. They can score a little bit, and they're going to be a tough team to put away. So 18 points for Union. They're flying, but Carlynton, right here, he makes his free throw. It's 18-10. They're right in it.
And now Stanley's going to have to come out of the game. Blood on the uniform.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Well, gives us a chance to give you a little out-of-town scoreboard update brought to you by the Newcastle Transit Authority. They're going your way. Remember, senior citizens ride for free. Late first half, Mohawk leading 36-27 over Elwood City. Up north, late third quarter, 36-32, Sharon leading against Hickory, on the road in that one. Newcastle was leading over North Allegheny 14-8 at the end of the first quarter at last score update. Third free throw. My goodness, I don't think we've had three throws take that long before. He makes the bookends, does Moldovan. Cuts the lead down to 8. So Blakely, Thomas, Galmarini, Gettings, and Gunn, the 5 out there on the court. We're going to have a whistle, and a reach-in foul is going to go against Lakai Turner. That'll be his first, team second. And I think we're going to get blood on the uniform. Got a new uniform. Blood on the uniform, yep.
Okay. All right. Comes in as number 44.
Was 44 Mark's number last year? It was. So he's going to Big Brother Mark's number now. Well, he knew which one he would be able to go and fit into, I guess.
Yeah, Mark's here tonight.
He is. That's Little Mark, by the way.
Yeah. We know Big Mark's here.
We'll also give a shout out to Matthew Stanley. Because he, at the end of last year, he was number 10 all-time in Lawrence County history for scoring. Guess what? That just ended. Joseph Roth just passed him here tonight to get to the 10th all-time spot with over 1,800 career points.
Wow.
Congratulations to him. Matthew and Mark both at Westminster. And rumor has it both going to be on the gridiron next year. Driving into the lane, Ryan Lewis, nifty shot in traffic, can't get it to go, but he was hit on the arm on the way up. So 5 fouls here in the first quarter. How do you feel about that in the men's game, going to the 5 per quarter situation?
Well, you made the point when we called the game last week that it makes sense when you do it in the girls' game because that's the way the college game is. But in the boys' game, again, it's when they get to at the next level and certainly the level after that, there's still the 1 plus the bonus. Mm-hmm. And they keep track by halves. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I guess I'll probably assess it more at the end of the season. But I think it's you should maybe try to line it up with what's going to be at the next level.
Yeah, I'm with you in complete agreement on that one. Lewis splits the pair, his first point. So 5 different players for Carlynton in the scorebook. It's the 5 starters. I'm going to say Mark Stanley at some point tonight, but that is Lucas wearing 44.
Yeah, right.
Kicks it back out, driving his way in, and jump stop and heavy traffic. No good on the shot from Braylon Thomas. Good defense there from Carlynton. Leads to a 2-on-1 the other way. Nice pass across the lane to Moldovan for 2.
Yeah, like I said, this team can score, and they can score in droves, so no lead is comfortable.
So after a 9-0 Union run earlier in the quarter, 5 straight points here from Carlynton. Nice move in the lane. That'll answer it. The and 1 from Braylon Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas just so under control. He does everything off of 2 feet. He gets the shoulders square and makes what should be difficult, what is difficult, he makes it kind of look easy.
Blakely's going to check back in. He's playing with 2 fouls now, too, by the way. So Blakely and Jonke each with 2 fouls. Coach talked about that. There was foul trouble down there, and players having to miss a lot of time. 3-point play unable to be completed there by Thomas. It remains a 7-point Scotty's advantage here at home. Nice hesitation move. McKnight into the lane. Drive, draw, dish. Moldovan for 3. Shot short, no good. Follow your shot. Off the window, too strong. 5 seconds left. Here comes Thomas up the court. Takes a look at the clock. 2 seconds left. He's got the step back. 3 at the buzzer. Why not?
Wow. Braylon Thomas just taking matters into his own hands. And just as Carlynton had gotten back into the game, Union able to really get it done.
23-13, your score at the end of the first quarter. Back in a moment. It's the Lawrence County Sportsnet, powered by LCAP.
Does your blueprint not match the vision of your building project? Not with Creative Edge Architecture. From concept to creation, Jeff Measle will help tackle the complex problems, creating design solutions and construction experience. Creative Edge gives you the edge design and construction meet.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
Hey Scotty fans, it's Mrs. Ryan
and Miss Felina here on behalf of the Union Area Education Association.
And we want to wish all of our Scotties good luck this season. Go Scotties!
10-point advantage for Union. How about this? Not only did they score more points in the first quarter than the entire first half, how about doubling it up in the first quarter from the last game?
Right, yeah, and 1, +1. Double it up, +1.
Yeah, you can do that.
You're the math guy, yeah, but yeah, I can do that.
And Union gets the basketball to start the second quarter as well after the Braylon Thomas step-back buzzer beater, an early nomination for sure of your Maley Chiropractic play of the game. Thought he was going to pull up there again from the right wing. Extra pass over Stanley. He'll take a step back. No good. Scotty's three-point shooting was one of our keys to the game for sure in this one. Much better here tonight in the early going.
Yeah, they're dominated on the boards too.
3 of 10 in that first quarter. And, yeah, the offensive rebounds, 6 of them in the game. Blakely can't get this one in the lane. Good pump fake, but then couldn't finish.
Right.
McKnight to the foul line. Off the mark. Another Braylon Thomas rebound.
Yeah, he creates such a great space for himself to make a rebound.
Gives it over to Galmarini. Skip pass back over to Blakely here early in the second quarter. Stanley looks to drive baseline. His little floater is good, and that mid-range game has been such an improvement this year for Lucas Stanley.
Yeah, but he's got that nice little drag move where he just kind of lulls a defender to sleep and then blows by him.
Breaking the press, Carlynton, little floater in the lane is good. That's Lakai Turner with his first points. So 6 different Carlynton players, only 10 dressed, but 6 of them have scored already.
Yeah, he played great in that in the JV game. Got hurt in the JV game. You can see he's still hurt now.
And they need him to play.
Yep.
Almost surprised when you have this few that they didn't request something with a no JV game, but me personally, I'm glad they still have it going.
Yeah, no kidding. That was an extra JV game too, right?
Oh, right, with overtime. Backdoor cut. Blakely couldn't quite handle it cleanly at first, and it was blocked away at the last second. There's a whistle. We're going to have an offensive foul. It's just out of control was Ryan Lewis going into the lane. There's your Maduro Bonner Law charge against Carlynton.
Yeah, how many things does Braylon Thomas do for this team, right? I mean,
yeah.
He rebounds. He takes charges. He makes great passes. He hits threes. He's doing it all right now.
And Scotties have a 10-point advantage. That is the second foul, by the way, against Ryan Lewis. Carlynton back in that 2-3 zone, not extending it as much as you saw last year.
Right.
Packing it in a little bit more. Then again, you didn't have the three-point shooters on this team like Union did last year. Good job to tap it to himself by Ryan Lewis to get the steal. Back-to-back turnovers for the Scotties. Moldovan finds Tay Dean down low. He puts it high off the window, no good. Put back attempt off the mark, but Ryan Lewis will get another trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, you can see, I mean, that Ryan Lewis, he's listed at 6 foot, but he plays like he's about 6'6".
Yeah.
Clears the space, hits the boards, big, strong, squares the shoulders up, draws fouls.
Had 14 the first time these two teams played. Averaging 12 per game. That's only his second point of the night. The lefty Lewis, second one on the way. Back iron. Can't get the friendly roll, and Stanley will grab the rebound.
Carlynton staying in this 2-3 zone. It's actually like they used to call it back in the old YMCA days, a 2-1-2. That's what they're playing.
I was
really
just about to ask about that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that at the next dead ball about the
slides are different on the blocks. That's the difference.
Carry call against Braylon Thomas, but so the big difference is that middle part on the bottom of the 2-3 zone is playing almost as a second or right the foul line, really, right?
It gives you a little better coverage at the high post. And then at times it makes it tough to get all the way on a quick swing, a quick reversal, get to the blocks for that middle guy.
Because then it's the far wing who has to go to the other block.
Correct.
Is what you're saying.
Yep. Yes, exactly. So it's almost like a 3-2 slide there.
That's why you bring Coach along for those fun X and O's conversations as Moldovan tries another one from the corner. He's 0 for 3 from downtown. Ball tipped out of bounds, and I think Carlynton's the last to touch it.
I don't know if you feel the same way about it, James, but it just seems like Union is dominating this basketball game, and it has the entire game. But you look at the scoreboard, 25-16. They're still in it, and that's kind of what this Carlynton team does.
Landon Eckert, a freshman in there for Union for the first time, wearing number 22. Thomas getting the call from the sideline. Extra pass to the corner. Blakely open for 3. In and out, no good. Offensive rebound. Stanley, no good on his putback. And Blakely just let it go and said, here, you take it, Lucas.
Yeah, Stanley getting those big paws up there by the rim and snatching it down.
And going the other way and going up for the block was Thomas. He ended up laying it on top of McKnight. Helps him back up to his feet. They share a chuckle. But it's going to be going to the free throw line there is McKnight.
Yeah, both Thomas and McKnight, of course, were big parts of the varsity teams last year. So, again, 6th time in 13 months for these two teams meeting. So those guys know each other.
First free throw up and good for McKnight. Yeah, we're not quite to the Newcastle-Hampton, consistently 4 games a year over and over and over again. But would it surprise me if that became a tradition? If these two teams stay in the same section, of course, realignment coming up.
Right.
Actually, no, they will not because, Union's going to 2A. I'll be honest, I don't know if Carlynton is moving up or not.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I mean, the enrollment certainly isn't growing there. I don't know, what that means for the next cycle. But
with the new way that they're calculating enrollment, though, too, Union moved up without really any increase in their enrollment.
Okay.
Grayson Blakely, though, getting on the scoreboard. He's got 39 threes on the year. That's his first tonight.
Yeah, great corner-to-corner pass. That's one of the best ways to attack that zone, James.
A 3-2 or the 2-1-2 as you're putting it here.
Yep.
And he's gotten a couple of open looks, finally able to knock one down. Grayson Blakely coming in as the number 3 three-point shooter in the county as this ball is knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Galmarini. Possession stays with the Cougars.
I like the way Union is playing defensively today, just as far as they're putting some pressure on. They're not giving Carlynton easy looks, but they're playing in a way that they are not going to get into the foul trouble that they did the first time they played.
Lewis fakes the handoff, trying to use McKnight as a little dummy. Now McKnight somehow gets the pass back. Galmarini didn't see it. The runner no good. The putback, though, up and in for Lewis. And that one, the evil glare, and Galmarini is going to get the ire of that one as Coach Stanley calls a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, just again, this Carlynton team, I hate to say it this way, but I think anybody that's ever coached or played against a team like this is going to know what I'm talking about. You keep looking at this team thinking we should be blowing them out, but you're not, because they continue to kind of get those baskets, maybe get the ones you think they shouldn't get, but they get them all the time, so obviously they're good enough to get them, right? I mean, that's just kind of the way it is.
That's your Ponch's Insurance timeout. Visit ponchesinsurance.com and request a quote for auto, home, business, or life insurance. Call Dan Ponch's, Jessica Dix, or Tracy Giddings to get started today. 30-20 your score here. Just past the midway point of quarter number 2. We'll have our Luxembourg Garbett, Kelly, and George halftime show coming up. Visit lgkg.com. Been in the business now, keeping promises for over 90 years. Thomas, they break the press. He tried to break a double team, and we're going to get a whistle and a timeout called by Lucas Stanley on the floor. And as a coach, I mean, you just called a timeout. Now you're going to waste your second 30-second timeout here in the opening quarter. As a coach, how do you feel about using those at that point on a loose ball in the first half?
I mean, I used to talk to players about, we would work on special situations in practice, things like that. And I would actually, sort of like talk about possession versus timeout. Mm-hmm. What point in the game, things like that. And in this case, my guess is Coach Stanley doesn't love that timeout only because 3:20 to go in the second quarter, up 10. The timeout might be more important later than just trying to save one possession. Now, obviously later in the game, you save a possession in a crucial moment. It's a big deal.
Obviously difficult to have that mentality when everything's going 1,000 miles an hour on the court, though, too.
Correct, exactly.
Eckert, double teamed in the corner, tries to split through. It's going to get knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Carlynton. Jaden McKnight trying to plead his case, but he's the last one to hit it out of bounds.
Yeah, he did. He hit it last, and then he lost sight of the ball. He could have easily just kind of snatched it up there, but
Thomas swings it over to Galmarini. Back over to Thomas. Had an open three, but saw the opening right to the lane. No good on the shot. Jonke just checked back in. He'll get the offensive rebound. Pull up for Stanley, no good. Galmarini now with his putback attempt. It hangs on the rim and falls.
Offensive rebounds, right? I mean, that is really the gap right now, has been the offensive rebounds of Union Scotties.
I have him for now 10 in this first half.
That's incredible. That's a great game of them.
Pass down the court. Blakely thought about it, but instead found the trailer. Galmarini shot, though, short, maybe a little rushed. Coming the other way with speed is Carlynton, and that one hurt. He did a jump stop, and something went wrong with the knee. Oh, no. Yeah. On the other end, Galmarini no good on the shot, and the putback from Stanley, and that one was no good as he went in the lane.
Yeah, he did the jump stop across the lane.
And that's the last thing Carlynton needs.
When he landed, that one's not good. Obviously, not a doctor, not a trainer, but there's just certain moments in a basketball game where you can tell.
I was hoping he had just stepped on an ankle.
Yeah.
Or rolled the ankle stepping on a foot, but.
Right. Yeah, that's the classic one, too. A lot of coaches teach that big jump hop across the lane, and, he's a big, strong athlete, and that's the problem with it right there.
So while they tend to Ryan Lewis, we're going to step aside, be back in a moment. It's the Lawrence County Sportsnet, powered by LCAP.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
Able to get to his feet, but not a lot of help, and he's actually, or not a lot of weight on that leg. He's getting help from both Coach Jake Crombetta and from Coach Mark Stanley. That's that tells you right there about the respect these two teams have for each other. Again, playing each other 6 times in the last year.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big dude. I think Coach Stan was, they needed both head coaches there to get him off. But, yeah, trainer Trish over there working on him. Hopefully it's nothing bad.
Pass out of bounds, touched by on the way out. A little slippery spot there. It'll stay with Carlynton, but the reason why they were allowed to have that play continue, why Stanley could get that basket, is that you don't stop the play during an injury if there's advantage still going on at the other end.
Right. Yep. Yeah, no, that's the right. That's
unfortunately for Carlynton and unfortunately for basketball fans, but that's just the way it has to be.
Right.
Three-pointer, no good there from McKnight, and he's not going to have to be the leading scorer. Possibilities on the evening. Bounce pass there through the hands of Blakely and out of bounds.
Yeah, I agree. I think certainly the McKnight and Tay Dean are obviously going to have to, if Carlynton is going to stay in this game, they're going to have to really step their games up.
Yeah, Lewis averaging 12 per game. He put up 14, 1 of 3 in double figures. The first time these two teams played just after the New Year. This one's knocked out of bounds by Gettings. Just over 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. We'll deliver your halftime scoring recap. Remember our podcast coming up over the weekend again. Penn Ohio Bottled Water delivering you all those goods. Good give and go again, but the shot no good for McKnight this time off the window. Couldn't get it to fall.
Yeah, they've missed a couple of those, maybe 2 or 3 of those.
It could be a much different game, right?
Yep.
Gettings able to keep this one in bounds. Extra pass over to Stanley, down to Gunn. Backs his way in, shot no good, but he got hit on the arm. McKnight's going to pick up his first. And it looked like on that one, looked like Gunn was expecting contact early as he was backing his way in, didn't see any, and then went up maybe a little hesitantly.
Yeah. Yeah, I that's one of those ones where it's not a bad call because it was a foul, but, you know, if you're the opposing coach, you're thinking, he didn't earn that one. You know, he didn't square his shoulders and go up strong and kind of earn that foul.
But did get hit on the arm, and the referees claim he earned a trip to the line. Yeah. Gunn makes the first. Second one, missed everything.
Really nice touch pass there by Lucas Stanley, too, to get it to him to get that foul.
About a quick Newcastle Transit Authority scoring update. It's 52-35. Mohawk leading over Elwood City right now at home. That's midway through the third quarter.
Mohawk's good.
Gunn gets his hands on the ball, gets the steal, able to get it over to Stanley, and starts the break, and up ahead, Stanley to Thomas for 2.
Yeah, just running the floor. Great pass by Stanley.
Timeout Carlynton. Let's take a quick one here as well. Back in a moment. It's the Lawrence County Sportsnet, powered by LCAP.
Don't get left out to dry. Call the Penn Ohio Bottled Water Company for the fastest and most efficient bottled water delivery service in the area. Penn Ohio offers bottled water ranging from 16.9-ounce bottles to 5-gallon jugs, perfect for your next event or office water cooler system. Also, don't forget to ask about their custom labeling options. Visit PennOhioBottledWater.com for more information and to get a quote on their delivery services. Whether it's at home, in the office, or on the sidelines, Penn Ohio has you covered.
In workers' compensation, my clients are oftentimes not receiving their wage loss. They're not receiving their medical expenses. LGKG, they come to us so that we can put them in a position to pay their bills. If we're keeping our promises, our clients are getting the justice they deserve.
Looking for a unique way to expand your business? Advertise on the Lawrence County Sportsnet and be seen by thousands of viewers in the area and around the country on over 100 broadcasts each year. Visit lcsportsnet.com and click Advertise with LCSN.
1:14 remaining here in the first half. All of a sudden, it's a 17-point lead for the Scotties. Chris, you kind of alluded to it. It was just only a matter of time before the score reflected how the game felt.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. For a long time, you're thinking, man, we're dominating this game, and you look up at the scoreboard, and you're up 7, you're up 8, 9, but now, it's the gap is starting to become a lot more pronounced.
Good pump fake in the lane, and it's up and good for Tay Dean. He's got a team-high 7 points.
Yeah, Dean's good. Dean makes a big difference with this team.
Stanley will take another right wing 3 and knocks down his second of the game. He's got 20 points here in the first half.
First half, yeah.
Under a minute to play, and again, tenacious defense.
Yeah.
He's got his hands on a couple of them now.
He really has. Yeah, he's been really good at that. Mike Gunn's been really good at that. Gal Marini's been good at that.
These are a lot of guys who didn't see much, if any, varsity time. Certainly not much meaningful varsity time from a year ago. Yeah, really, other than Stanley and Thomas.
Right.
Next leading scorer, I believe, from last year was Grayson Blakely, and he only had about 18 points.
Yeah.
Nice drive, draw, and dish. Was that Tay Dean again?
That was Tay Dean again. Yeah, he's kind of single-handedly keeping them hanging around a little bit.
Double team right across midcourt. Now Galmarini back to Stanley. 10 seconds remaining into the quarter. Gettings for three. Boom.
Huge.
His 7th three ball of the year. First points of the night. Half-court heave at the buzzer. No good. And that's how the first half comes to an end. A 43-24 lead for the Scotties here over Carlynton. We'll be back in a moment with the LGKG halftime show when we return on the Lawrence County Sportsnet, powered by LCAP.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in the Shannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
Right now, someone very special needs your help. This is Jack Lynn, CEO of City Rescue Mission. No one is beyond God's love and care. One person's life can affect another. Though you may never meet this person, you can make a difference in his or her life. Hurting men and women in our community desperately need food, shelter, and physical and spiritual care. Some are struggling with abuse and addiction. They feel alone, unloved, and forgotten. Individual, caring people provide their hope. You can help change the lives of men, women, and children. Visit cityrescuemission.org and help us today.
I think the key to any attorney-client relationship is trust. My father told me a long time ago, the definition of personal integrity is really simple. Do what you say you're going to do. At LGKG, we've been doing that for over 80 years.
GEM building contractors and developers have a proven record of performance on any size project. They bring value, local craftsmanship, expert management to meet any challenge. From design construction, from inspection to budget estimation, GEM Builders has been building our community for 70 years.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game. Nominations are now being accepted for the LCAP Team of the Month and the LGKG Male and Female Athlete of the Month. Log on to lcsportsnet.com/awards to nominate your favorite team or athlete today.
Hickory.
43-24 your halftime score here at the Cavelli Fieldhouse. Chris Birch alongside. I'm James Dotson. A 9-0 run to start the game for the Scotties. And then, I mean, basically it was pretty even until like the last probably 2 or 3 minutes. Unfortunately, with the injury there to Ryan Lewis, went down with a knee injury with about 2.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah.
Union able to extend the lead in those final couple minutes. But the score reflects how Union has played, especially in the offensive glass.
Yeah. Yeah, they have been great offensively, you know, not only on the offensive glass, like your numbers will bear out, but also just, you know, they what Union has a knack of, you know, obviously that great team of the last couple of years, but certainly this team is starting to develop that identity. They always seem to take the right shot. They take the right shot, and they make that shot at a very high percentage, and that's what I know they haven't looked like that every game here this season. But certainly tonight, that's what they look like. And, you know, again, this team's getting this team is getting better at a pretty rapid pace.
6 of 16 from the free throw, or from the three-point line, for the Scotties. 0 for 5 for Carlynton. That's another tail of the tape, I think, for sure. But the 11 offensive rebounds. That was one of the works in progress keys to the game, both for us, and Coach Stanley was adamant about that in your pregame talk.
Yeah,
and I think it was 5 offensive rebounds in the first 2 minutes. They took that to heart and made it happen.
Yeah, no question about it. And they weren't offensive rebound putbacks, not all of them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening is, Union gets a good shot, they get an offensive rebound, they get a kick out, they throw one more pass, one more reversal, and then they get a great shot and they make that shot. That seems to be sort of the way that's happened for them tonight. And when you can do that, and you heard Coach Stanley say this in the pregame interview with me, he said, they don't let you. They don't let you run your offense. Mm-hmm. They just make you play. And when Union's getting these offensive rebounds, there's a breakdown in the defense, which means 1 or 2 passes later, there's going to be a wide open shot.
And they've hit those shots tonight, which at times earlier this year that hasn't happened, which is also a big part of the reason why this team has won now 7 of the last 8 contests. We'll come back. We'll take another break. When we come back, we will look at the first half scoring recap brought to you by Gem Builders Incorporated. Back in a moment. It's the Lawrence County Sportsnet powered by LCAP.
Just like going to the doctor, our homes need a checkup too. If your home is not properly weatherized, you could be at risk for symptoms that cause unhealthy ailments and higher utility bills. The Weatherization Assistance Program is the key to reducing utility costs and increasing comfort in your home. Services include an in-home energy audit to inspect your furnace and hot water tank, check for air sealing around windows and doors, and ensure adequate insulation and ventilation. Learn more at lcap.org or call the Department of Healthy Homes to get your checkup today.
Hey Scotty fans, it's Mrs. Ryan
and Miss Felina here on behalf of the Union Area Education Association.
And we want to wish all of our Scotties good luck this season. Go Scotties!
Works in Progress Painting wishes a successful and satisfying season to all the Lawrence County sports teams and athletes. Work hard and bring honor to your team, school, and family in how you play. Joe Wright and his family have been providing painting, window cleaning, and other property services for business and homeowners in the Lawrence County area for over 10 years. Their goal on every project is to provide a meaningful service that honors their customer, God, and their family, and to have fun while doing it. Works in Progress is now booking interior painting projects for both residential and commercial projects. Call Joe today at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next project.
Contractors, the Department of Healthy Homes needs you. From small to large residential projects, you can help families live safer and healthier with the quality work you do. It's rewarding in more ways than one. Call LCAP's Department of Healthy Homes today.
Your insurance company not always on your side, but the law offices of Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George are. You can visit them at lgkg.com for your free consultation. The Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George halftime show. Let's take a look at the first half scoring recap. It's brought to you by Gem Master Builders and Craftsmen. Tay Dean, 9 points to lead Carlynton in the first half, 4 each for Jake Moldovan and Ryan Lewis and Jaden McKnight. 2 for Lakai Turner and 1 for Justin Williams, rounding out the Carlynton first half. Want to mention 7 first-quarter turnovers, only 3 in the second quarter, so really cleaned up that act in quarter number 2. For Union, Lucas Stanley leading all scorers, 20 points, including a pair of three-pointers and 7 two-pointers. Braylon Thomas also in double digits. He's got 10. 4 for Dane Jonke, all in the first quarter. 3 each for Andrew Gettings and Grayson Blakely, and 2 points for Rocco Galmarini, and a free throw, 1 for 2 from the line for Mike Gunn to round out the Scotties scoring. Again, 6 of 16 from beyond the arc. That's your Gem Master Builders and Craftsmen scoring recap. Building our community for 70 years, family owned and operated, general contractor for 4 generations. They can use their creative processes, allowing them to help any project and meet any challenge. GEMbuilders.com for more information. As we get ready for the second half, Chris Birch, what are the teams discussing in the locker room? Well, what do you need, if you're both the Cougars and the Scotties, to be able to do in the second half differently in the rest of the game?
I think, just kind of watching Coach Stanley from over here, can't hear exactly what he said, but most of his exasperation and his frustration has been with his team on the defensive end. But you look at that and you say, well, Coach, but you only gave up 24 points, So, yeah, I think certainly we'll see Union maybe with a little bit more intensity on the defensive end. take away some of that dribble penetration that Carlynton has been able to get a lot of their points from. I mean, if you're Carlynton, obviously you can't change your identity. Their identity is this, this trapping half-court zone. But the problem is if Union is able to get it out of the trap and throw an extra pass, next pass, one more, as coaches say these days, they're going to get open shots. And if they continue to knock down the shots, I don't know if there's anything Carlynton can do.
And you know what, 6 3-pointers, it does feel like a lot more than that, to be honest.
It does, yeah, you're right.
A couple score updates for you. Newcastle trailing by 9 to North Allegheny at the half. That's a big one. Newcastle, they're in danger of missing the playoffs, Mr. Chris Birch.
That's newsworthy.
The first time since Coach Mark Stanley was still at Newcastle. That's how long it's been.
Yeah, no kidding.
We are just in the fourth quarter of the Mohawk-Elwood City game, a 12-point Warrior edge in that one. You can check that out with Eric Thomas and Tim Continenza just down the road in Bessemer.
Oh, Eric Thomas making the trip up, huh? Good
absolutely.
for him. Yeah. Enjoyed working with him that football game.
Yeah. Almost put you two together, but we had a special request to have you here in Scotland Township.
Anytime I can be with you at Union, count me in.
We appreciate Chris Birch making the trip as well, as it's going to be Carlynton with the first possession of the second half, and it's going to be a missed shot from Moldovan, and then it looks like he's going to pick up the foul as well to start the second half.
Yeah.
Nope, they're going to give it on Tay Dean instead.
Yeah, Tay Dean kind of just out of a little bit of frustration kind of brought the hammer down as Jonky got the rebound.
His second. I have him and Lewis as the only ones with multiple fouls for Carlynton. Jonky and Blakely, they both had 2 fouls in the first quarter. Good job to avoid getting that dreadful third in the first half.
Refs are doing a fabulous job because this is not an easy game to officiate.
No, not when you have the speed and athleticism of these two teams going at it. Triple team in the quarter. Thomas tried to throw it off of the Carlynton defender. It was stolen away, but then the held ball possession will go right back now to the Scotties.
Yeah, that's in there. They're just kind of another hustle turnover caused by Braylon Thomas.
The other score update we want to give from the Newcastle Transit Authority going your way out-of-town scoreboard. How about overtime up in District 10?
Yeah.
Sharon and Hickory.
Yeah, Sharon Hickory, obviously. That's one of the best rivalries in all of District 10. Two schools separated just by a couple of miles. Two really good teams that really need a win after losses earlier in the week.
The first one of the year for the Sharon Tigers.
Yeah.
A whistle and a foul there as McKnight basically went through Gettings, and Gettings almost went through the bleachers. So he's given up 3 or 4 inches.
Just maybe a bit of a frustration foul there for Jaden McKnight.
And it's got to be frustrating for this Carlynton team. Again, so much success they had last year and so many injuries that have plagued them. And you see another teammate go down with one tonight in Ryan Lewis.
Right.
Thomas drives to the elbow. Pass is deflected, but still made its way to Jonky somehow, some way. Trying to give and go right back to him. Good hands to steal away by Tay Dean. How nice is it to have him back? He gets the return pass, finds the trailer. Moldovan for 3. He hasn't been able to hit one from downtown. 0 for 4.
Yep.
Blakely splits a double team, tries to get it to Stanley. Somehow does. Lenny Leeper able to get out of the way quickly, the official. To Thomas in the corner, open for 3. No good. Going for his own rebound. The 2 is making contact, and it's going to be the green number 2 last to touch it, and McKnight.
Yeah, Carlynton's still working hard. You know, we heard Coach Stanley in the pregame interview talk about how hard they play.
They get the possession here on the turnover in the lane. Nifty up and under move. Isaiah Berry didn't play in the first half. He said, hey, Coach, get the sophomore in a bit more.
Yeah, he was great in the JV game. That was a big JV win for Carlynton, and he played great.
Yeah, that was a 76-62 overtime victory, why we're a little behind schedule here. Gettings will try one from the right wing. Short, no good. Long rebound corralled and off and running. Euro step around the defender, and a beauty by McKnight.
Yeah, that was a beauty by McKnight. Yeah, Thomas set up for the charge, and McKnight never even touched him.
Thomas trying to answer at the other end. Tough shot off the window. Gets the friendly hometown roll.
Yeah, boy. That's, you know, you can just see some of the things he's added to his game from a year ago. That was one of them right there.
Good no-look pass there from Turner to Dean for 2.
Yeah.
Dean now in double figures.
Yeah, that's that Carlynton thing I've been talking about.
They're able to score in bunches, and they're going to get another opportunity. This is almost a 2-on-0 as Moldovan out in front. It's going to be blocked from behind. Gettings is going to pick up the foul. It was blocked by Thomas, but then as he went down, he ends up landing on top of Moldovan. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of space here, between the baseline and the wall. I mean, most gyms aren't, but this one maybe even a little tighter than most. And, so sometimes those collisions, on layups, fouls on layups look worse than they actually are.
Right.
And that was probably a case there.
And perfectly called, too, by the officials. They're right on it. It was a clean block from Thomas. It was Gettings who got the foul on the arm, on the reach-in going up.
Yeah. That was close. I wouldn't have called it either, but that was actually close to being a goaltend on Thomas.
Got it just before it hit the backboard.
So here, I mean, it's still 13, but you get the sense here. Again, Carlynton is not going to be easy to just run out of the gym, No,
and with Coach Trombetta, they are not going to be giving up anytime soon either. Jonke, extra pass over to Galmarini for 3. Short, no good. And just like that, you miss a couple of shots, and this is the sort of thing that can end up happening. Pass deflected out of bounds. You hit him in the first half.
Yeah, that's it.
Missing him here.
That's what I was just going to say. Union still firing away, and they miss a couple. All of a sudden, you're like, I don't take that. It's not a good shot. But they're shots they were making in the first half.
As long as it's in the flow of the offense, as a coach, you'll be happy with it. Moldovan loses it on the way up, knocked out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Cougars. As long as it's in the flow, right?
Right, they're quick is what they are, right? So when you make them, you don't notice how quick it is, but when you miss them, you notice.
Stanley's going to get his hands on this pass and swipe it away, and good thing for Union because Barry is wide open in the paint.
Open. Yeah, that was a big play by Stanley.
Galmarini open again in the corner, passes on the 3, drive, draw, and dish for 3 is Lucas Stanley, and another hometown roll.
Yeah, really good way to just draw a defender, kick it out to your shooter, and he knocks it down.
A soft touch from the junior. His 3rd of the night, his 31st of the year. Trying to answer on the other end is McKnight. It's off the mark. Offensive rebound, though, for Tay. He can't get it to go. Tay Dean. Woo! Thomas skying up for another bound.
Skying and taking the air out of the ball with how hard he rebounded.
He tries to go coast to coast. Left-handed layup off the mark. Dean throws it out in front. Up and down we go. Moldovan in the lane. His shot no good. Great defensive positioning.
Yeah.
Straight up and down.
Yeah, that was a great job by Galmarini on defense.
Stanley gives it over to Thomas. He hangs in the air. Why not?
Coach Stanley, bring it out. And then he makes a layup and he just claps.
Up and down the court we go. No good on the shot from McKnight. Following the shot there was Tay Dean. He can't get it. Grabbed there somehow by Stanley. Now Lucas goes into the lane. Hands it off to Blakely. I'm not sure he was ready for it. He said, here, have it back, Lucas. You make it.
Oh, my goodness. This game's getting ragged.
It feels like a backyard game right now, and I think a good full timeout taken here. Think Union took it?
Yeah, Union took it. Yep.
Union took the timeout. We'll take a Pontius Insurance timeout here as well. Back in a moment on the Lawrence County Sportsnet, powered by LCAP.
When it comes to protecting those you love, the businesses you've built, or the things you've earned, you need someone you can trust. Who better to protect your interests than a local insurance agent? Pontius Insurance is a team of local agents helping local residents in Lawrence County and surrounding areas.
Apologies, we're back here on the Lawrence County Sports. It was Carlynton who took that timeout with 3:50 remaining here in quarter number 3. Midway through the quarter, and it's a 20-point lead for the Scotties. 25 of those points put up on the board tonight by Lucas Stanley.
Yeah, he's been great. He's played really kind of under control, taking good shots, doing a great job kind of getting his hands on some steals too, and obviously knocking down shots.
Another out-of-town score update brought to you by the Newcastle Transit Authority. Elwood City has cut that Mohawk lead down to 6.
Wow.
64-58.
It was almost 20 at one point.
It was.
Yeah.
And look at this. They're rushing the floor at Hickory. Hickory with a 50-49 victory.
Wow. The Hornets already having lost at home to 4A foes, Slippery Rock and Grove City.
It's a buzzer beater.
Had to have that one.
It's a buzzer. They're buzzer beater. They're down 1, driving the lane, and at the buzzer the layup goes. So Hickory gives Sharon their second loss of the year, their second loss of the week. Instant classic up there. Guess we're glad the radio station had to be second fiddle to the TV station for that one.
Yeah, right.
Everybody wants to be there. Back to the action here. A 20-point Carlynton deficit. Staying with it is McKnight. Drives, draws, kicks out Mike Jenkins in for the first time. Over to Justin Williams. Bounce pass into the lane there. That's Turner. Turner backs it back out. It's Lakai Turner. You also got Lamaya Turner on this Carlynton roster as Jenkins drives in with traffic and puts it in for the sophomore.
Yeah, welcome to the game, Jenkins. He played well in the JV game, too.
Pretty sure everybody played well in that JV game.
Really,
that was a fun JV game to watch.
JV game, yes.
As Thomas gets into the lane and is able to muscle it up and in.
They just can't stop him. I mean, when he makes his mind up that he's going to get to the rim, they can't stop him.
He's got 16. Lead back up to 20 as McKnight stolen away. That's 3 or 4 steals now for Lucas Stanley. Looking like Mark going coast to coast up and in, and one.
Wow. Great little right-hand move there by Stanley as he got that steal. Went left, the lefty went left, but then he crossed it over, low dribble into his right hand. Gets it up, draws the foul, makes the basket.
It's only going to be the 4th free throw attempt of the game for Union, which is a little unlike them. As a coach, are you upset when when your team doesn't get to the line as much, even though you're winning by 20-plus points?
Me? No.
Yeah.
If we're up 20, we're playing well defensively, I'll take it. But, yeah, that's certainly something you look at after the game, and you think, why didn't we get to the line? We didn't get to the line very much.
2:40 remaining here in the third quarter. Handoff and three-pointer for Turner. Banks it in. That looks like how they started the overtime period in the JV game, too.
Right. That's right.
His second basket. Turner now with 5. Pass over the top, looking for Jonke, trying to gain some space and gain too much space. Lowered the shoulder. He's going to pick up his third foul. Another Medor Bonner Law change in possession. Your local firm with deep ties in the community. Make sure you protect your possessions. MedorBonnerLaw.com. See how they can serve you.
20-point deficit here. About 2 minutes to go.
Nice hesitation move into the lane, and Jonke clean block the other way. Though McKnight doesn't think so, and he just got teed up for it. Somebody said the magic word.
See the
and he's been ejected too. So it was something egregious enough to be as a technical and an automatic ejection. I believe it was on McKnight. So McKnight got teed up and he got tossed.
Yeah. I tell you what, I kind of have an opinion about ejections, and we didn't even see anything.
Yeah.
So to me,
it must have been.
As an official, you're overreacting a little bit to eject there. Technical? All right.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
Well, we also can't hear what's on the court.
Right, of course. But
so technical foul with 2:14 left, and the signal looked like it was an ejection for McKnight. He is still on the court at the moment.
Okay. So maybe it wasn't an ejection.
Well, I think that's what we're. Is that why the officials are waiting? Why we haven't shot these free throws yet either? Oh, I got to give a shout-out to Mason Benedict now because he just hung our sign back up.
Yeah, attaboy.
Mason. So, yeah, if you're getting an ejection, it must have been something said extremely egregious. Can't believe I have to still talk about Mason Benedict on the air, though. Well, while we're waiting, as they are going to escort McKnight off of the court, yeah, he was ejected. We got to give a shout-out to production staff here today, 2 Union students. Jamel Mitchell's running the camera. Denon Bowen doing the production end of things, running the graphics and the scoreboard for us. Denon Bowen didn't play his junior year of football, Chris Birch. He did not play.
Okay.
So he missed the state title run, but he came back for his senior year, started at center the entire year. He wore number 55. Why? Well, 2 years ago, his cousin, Mason Benedict, wore number 54.
Okay.
2 years before that, Mason's older brother wore 53. He had, and all three playing on the offensive line. He had to keep that tradition going. Back to the action here, a second chance effort, and Justin Williams gets in on the 3 ball. So none in the first half, and 2 threes made from the JV team here in the third quarter. It's a bounce pass in. Jonke will get a layup, his 6th point.
Yeah, you start to think, all right, Union's really going to run away with it here, but Carlynton continue to make shots.
Lucas Stanley now with 31 points, by the way, tying a career high.
Wow.
And I don't want to say it's a quiet 31, Chris Birch, but it almost kind of is.
Yeah. He just kind of goes about his business and just makes shots at a very high percentage.
Moldovan passed on the shot, gave it back out to Kai Turner. Turner over to the wing. That's Jenkins. Jenkins stolen away in the corner by by Grayson Blakely. So if you're just tuning in, Carlynton, their number 1 scorer just got ejected, Jaden McKnight, a technical and an ejection. In the second quarter, their number 2 scorer, Ryan Lewis, went down with an apparent knee injury, and it did not look good. So you're talking about an injury-prone team already and then losing a whole bunch of their offense here tonight. Lucas Stanley, career high 34 now, his 4th-3.
Did he have 31 last year or this year?
This year.
Okay.
He hit the upper 20s in the playoffs a couple of times last year, but never got above 30. Second time he's done it, though, here in his junior campaign. Moldovan step back 3, and he's going to say about time.
That's amazing.
Misfired on his first 4. And it's funny how you get a teammate to put a couple in, and all of a sudden that hoop feels a little bit bigger.
Right.
Union going 4 corners with 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Thomas looking to go one-on-one with Tay Dean. Spin move, gets to the line, poked away by Dean. Tried to get the pass in the corner. Moldovan steals it. He'll get the 3-quarter court shot off, and it's off the backboard and no good. That's 3 quarters of play here from the Cavelli Fieldhouse. 65-43, Scotty's in control here in the Lawrence County Sportsnet. It's powered by LCAP.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Mathur and David Verratti want to provide you with a level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of the locations in Xenopal or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win, proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County Sportsnet.
At Medore Bonner Law, we're more than just attorneys. We're your community partners. With a combined experience that spans decades, attorneys Jason Medore, Michael Bonner, and Greg Rossitelli are your trusted advisors for all legal matters. From personal injury to estate planning, business law to family disputes, we are here to guide you through every step of the legal process. Our full-service, community-based approach ensures that you're not just a client, but a valued member of our family. Give us a call or visit us online at MedoreBonnerLaw.com for more information.
Eight minutes on the clock, fourth quarter coming your way here on the Lawrence County Sportsnet powered by LCAP. And I got to ask a question, Chris Birch.
Yeah.
What's going on with these high-scoring games? The girls' game last night at half, Elwood City 49 to Shannock 39. How about this? Lucas Stanley 34. And the other game we got tonight, Mohawk has Bobby Fadden leading with 25. How about Joseph Roth putting up a 40 spot?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. These are just great players. All of them are great players, and offense is starting to kind of get ahead of the defense.
Good backdoor cut. Tay Dean, nice soft touch in the lane as well.
Yeah, nice little pick and roll. Carlynton has some players. You think about the guys that are out, but the guys that are in right now are playing well.
Lucas Stanley, he's been playing well. 34, a career high. He wants some more. As it's not over by any stretch the way that Carlynton can score the bucket in buckets. Mike Gunn trying to drive, gets it back out to Thomas. And I think right now if you're Coach Stanley, you're saying, hey, let's use this opportunity to try to milk some clock.
Yeah, he's going to go. He's going 4 to score, and he was running Clarion earlier. Those couple of stalls.
In the lane, Stanley fouled on the way up. He'll get 2 free throws, but when you spread it out like that, you got a lot of room for guys like Stanley and Thomas to get to the lane. And hey, Coach Stanley still Still
I saw
teaching.
a little jump hop, a little jump stop
Hey,
there.
Coach still got it.
No doubt.
I'm sure Anthony Stanley's going and getting involved in the practices.
It's fun watching some of the things that Union runs here because, obviously a lot of Coach Stanley's mentors were my mentors, and those were my two go-tos when we had a lead, James. The 4 to score and then that little Clarion continuity stall. Thanks to Coach Campman and Coach Abraham for those.
I have an interesting stat coming for you after those 2 free throws from Lucas Stanley. Curl cut here goes through the hands of Williams and is picked off. The county high score for a game this year was Brody McQuiston with 35. Lucas Stanley now has 36, so he has the county high, right? No, because also tonight,
Roth's got 40.
Roth puts up a 40 spot. By the way, that game's still going. A minute to go. It's a 7-point Mohawk advantage over Elwood City. Say tune into that one on your secondary device or your secondary screen. Ball knocked out of bounds. And I like that right there. As that one's knocked out of bounds, you see Braylon Thomas say, hey, we're fine. Don't force it. Don't need to force that.
Yep. Coach Stan thinking the same thing me too. That Holy Cross offense, that was the flex cutter.
And Stanley just getting position and, getting about 6 inches worth of separation there from Lakai Turner, who has to has to commit the foul, excuse me.
If you're going to throw that pass, you got to throw it to the baseline side.
If you're Andrew Gettings, you got to be thinking, hey, it's Braylon Thomas. He's going to go catch it, right?
Right.
Free throw is good for Lucas. Second one on the way. 38 points now on the evening for Lucas Stanley. It must be a night for high scoring. I just got a message. Shout out Ryan Fisher. Luka Doncic is trying to go for 80 on Kobe's anniversary. It is Kobe's anniversary. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah, we're getting some crazy high scores there too, right?
He's at 65 early fourth quarter is Luka Doncic.
Yeah. Game still close.
Lucas at 38.
There's Joel Embiid had 70 the other day.
Those are almost all twos. That's what's incredible about that stat line.
Right.
Back to the action here. 24-point advantage for Union. They've essentially been in control from the tip, but Carlynton has made it scary at times because when they go on these little scoring spurts.
Right.
No shot off the mark and no good from Mike Jenkins.
You keep thinking how Union's going to get a couple of baskets here and get the running clock going, but that's where Carlynton will score a couple of baskets.
They go up and down the court, both these teams. Again, it kind of looks like that Neshannock-Elwood City game last night. I don't know if you heard the stats, but it was the first 12 shots of that second quarter all went in. Wow. As Stanley said, hey, give me a 40 spot.
Just that big 2-1-2 weave out front there, and Stan got it in the middle and went right at the hoop.
A little nod of appreciation from Matt and Mark Stanley sitting in the crowd. Off to our right. I'm gonna have to go look at the numbers. I don't know if I have to look when they won the semifinals against Imani Christian Matt's junior year. I think that was his career high, and I think that was a 37.
Okay, so
Lucas,
little bro with that in his sights.
Youngest of the 4 brothers. Three-pointer up and in. Lamaya Turner saying, hey, get me in this. So 9 different players have played, 9 different players have scored for the Cougars.
Wow. Yeah, that's the stat.
The only one I have in the that was in the book who has not stepped on the court yet was Tyler Heinrich. 4.5 minutes remaining. Then you hear Coach Stanley calling out the play, and into the lane, left-handed layup, skying through the air is Thomas. By the way, he's got 18.
Yeah, just spread the floor, and that means someone's got to guard him one-on-one, and no one has shown the ability to do that.
Why is it, especially on those plays like you said, the Clarion stall or this 4 to score, where you basically as a defensive team, you know what the play is.
Right.
You know where the rotations go. Why is it still impossible to defend? Or so it seems to be impossible to defend.
Because it requires you have to be able to get through a screen in the Clarion stall or in Florida Score. You have to be able to guard somebody one-on-one off the dribble. And so you can know it's coming, but, I can know what Michael Jordan's trying to run, but if I can't guard him off the dribble, it doesn't matter, and that's – this is that Clarion here, right here, James.
And as soon as you try to cheat, then you get the backdoor cuts. Gunn hands it back off to Thomas. Under 4 to play. Here at the Cavelli Fieldhouse, Thomas trying to wrap around pass, got through 3 or 4 players somehow, some way. And Jonke, somehow, some way, keeping the toe down on the pivot foot. He may have twisted an ankle.
He twisted his ankle, too, and he kept the ankle that he twisted down, so good job by him.
I'll have to hear about that on Monday now. Thomas spreads the court.
Yeah, resetting that 5 count. Here goes Clarion again.
And it's, again, a motion offense that you've seen so many teams, especially around here, be able to adopt and run. Not only for, the stall purposes, but also just as your generic offense.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of scoring opportunities out of it. Scoring moments, I call them.
School record is now officially with Joseph Roth. 48 points. That is a Elwood City school record.
School record, and you think about some of the guys who played there.
Yeah.
I played against the Alloy brothers and Paul Feck and, some of those guys, and then those great teams for about maybe 10 or 15 years ago. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's a wow.
We got a lot of wows here tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, you impressed with any of these? Make sure you go and nominate for your LCAP Team of the Month and your LGKG Red Zone Athletes of the Month. You can go to our website, lcsportsnet.com/awards, and you can send in your nominations for those, and we'll be making those award picks just a couple of days. We're already to the end of January. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Coming out of the timeout with 3:07 remaining, 73-48 your score here at the Cavelli Fieldhouse. A couple new players out on the court. Well, we saw Landon Eckert earlier. We saw Jordan Kelly, another freshman working through the JV game. He's out there as well for the Scotties. Eckert swings it over to Gunn. Looks like the night is done for Stanley and Thomas. 40 points for Stanley, 18 for Thomas here tonight. And yes, that is a career high for Union.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, great night for Stanley. Certainly great night for Thomas too. So yeah, that's when your big two do what they did.
Carlynton with possession with Turner. Hands off. Nice cut into the lane to find Moldovan, but the shot doesn't go.
Yeah, that's a part of their base offense. They do a good job with that kind of that pass and cut.
Ball knocked away from Landon Eckert. And that's been kind of that night for Moldovan, though. He's done a lot of things right. A lot of them just haven't gone in. This one, the soft touch, gets him in double figures with 11.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. He has. He's got 11 points. Is not a bad night, but it's been kind of a tough night.
Blakely, skip pass. It's deflected and stolen away. The Carlynton team's going to play to the last buzzer as well.
They sure are.
These JV kids excited to get some more time on the court as well. Turner's shot off the mark. Galmarini.
Yeah.
Double teamed there. He fights through, and they're going to get a reach and foul before or against Justin Williams.
Good to see Galmarini back in. He went out a little dinged up earlier. So.
Yeah, it looks like he still has a little bit of a hitch to his giddy up.
Yeah, he does. You're right.
Moldovan will check out, and there is Tyler Heinrich, the last Carlynton player in the book, now on the court. So all 10 in the book have made their way on the court for the green and gold tonight. Ball tipped into the backcourt, so Kelly's able to go and corral it without penalty. Eckert dribbling through a double team. Skips it over to Galmarini. Galmarini now facing the pressure. And finds an open Blakely down to the block for the deuce.
Yeah, nice pass. Good finish by Blakely.
Minute 30 remaining. I want to talk about this real quick because we just joked about it before the game. Carlynton. What is the history of the name Carlynton?
Yeah.
Well, a student at then Crafton High School, Mary Penelope. She won a contest. They literally had a contest for what the new school name was going to be when Crafton, Carnegie, and Rosslyn Farm communities were all going to join together.
Right.
Well, she took the Carr from Carnegie, the Lynn from Rosslyn Farms, and the Ton from Crafton, and created Carlynton.
It's a great. Yeah, you think about it, you just couldn't have done any more perfect than that, right?
And name still lives on. As we got, again, a couple of fresh faces. Nate Chernecki in defensively for the Scotties, as is Dom Kusatrone. Eckert with the ball. He's come up the court, finds Kusatrone. Kusatrone, he splits through the double team, back up to Eckert. Fakes a pass to Chernecki, right back to Kusatrone. High post for Kelly, and it's going to be poked away by Barry. That's Isaiah Barry now with the ball. Drives in, gets to the foul line, kicks it back out to Turner. It's Lamaya Turner open for three. Off the mark, no good. Rebound there for Eckert, under a minute to play. Back up top, driving in, Eckert, foul line jumper, short, no good. Follows his shot, gets his own rebound through traffic, and one!
Let's get battling. Great job by Landon Eckert, the freshman.
He's your health and motion newbie of the game. And a late nomination for your Maley Chiropractic play of the game. Let's give a shout out to our friends at Maley Chiropractic. Dr. Ardro, Dr. Bowser, and Dr. Maley. Hey, changes in the weather or just too much time here on the bleachers, they can definitely affect how you're feeling on a daily basis.
Right.
Visit Maley Chiropractic and get sorted out today. As Eckert completes that three-point play. Pass down low, 30 seconds left, and getting a hand on was Kusatrone, but got a bit of the arm as well.
I like their base offense. You know, again,
Yeah.
obviously not a good day today up here. A couple of injuries and ejection, but that's they get a lot of that give and go.
25 seconds remaining as Isaiah Barry will go to the line. And what is it about that give and go that is so difficult to defend in basketball? I mean, you don't really see that a whole lot in a half-court offense.
No, and it's just one of those things where, you know, you're the man who is defending you, the player who is defending you. As you make the pass, they snap their head, and then somebody just, you know, it only takes a split second to be able to get by there.
Barry able to split the pair and gets the steal at the other end. 3-on-2, good bounce pass through, but it's kicked out of bounds by Kelly with just 15 seconds remaining. We'll have our Tri-County Principals post-game show at the end of this one. We'll hand out our awards as well, your MVP Insurance MVP of the game, as well as that Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game. Call MVP for the win. MVPINS.com for all your insurance needs. As Barry says, hey, I'll try one from downtown. He's got 6 points now.
Yeah. No, he's got a really nice, you can see, he really can shoot it.
That's going to be the end here from the Covelli Fieldhouse. Union gets the win they need. They maintain their spot at the top of the section standings, and they avenge their earlier loss to the Cougars. 78-54, your final here tonight. We'll wrap it up when we return with the Tri-County Principals postgame show on the Lawrence County Sportsnet. It's powered by LCAP.
You're looking for quality concrete services? Contact the experienced professionals at Doran Concrete. Our company is family, locally owned and operated, and has been serving the community for over 30 years. Get residential or commercial concrete services for any size job. Our skilled professionals offer prompt and reliable services at an affordable price. We believe in the principles of honesty, integrity, and reliability. Get in touch with us for exceptional concrete services at prices that you can afford.
For 20 years, Maley Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Maley Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Maley Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game.
I love what I do because coming in every day is different.
How can you not enjoy these kids coming up and hugging you and giving you these great smiles all throughout the day?
You guys ready? Seeing the progress that our kids make every single day is one of the reasons I love coming to school.
What should we do? We have fun.
LCAP Early Learning Centers is hiring. Help empower young minds in Lawrence County and become a superhero today. Apply at lcap.org.
For more than 120 years, people have relied on Martindale-Hubbell's preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you've been involved in an automobile accident, you should do the same. At LGKG, we have been preeminently rated for over 40 years.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Mathur and David Varsity want to provide you with the level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of the locations in Xenopleopole or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win, proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County Sportsnet.
Tri-County Principals postgame show coming your way here on the Lawrence County Sportsnet, powered by LCAP. There's your final score, 78-54. Union victorious over Carlynton. Give a quick shout out again, Denton Bowen, Jamel Mitchell helping us out. Union students with the production.
Yeah.
Shout out, of course, Chris Birch alongside for the ride. I'm James Dotson, glad to be here yet again, as it is a big section win now, 5 section wins in a row, and now winning, 6 of their last 7 have the Scotties since losing down at Carlynton. Team moving in the right direction. You saw a lot of great things here tonight here from Union.
I mean, that first half offensively, yeah. I mean, they were, I mean, obviously I'm not going to make the comparison, but they looked a lot like the team last year, right? I mean, It was just a matter of making reads, finding the shot, taking the right shot, and knocking down a majority of the right shots. And that's what made that team so great the last couple of years, and that's what they looked like certainly in that first half. And then the second half, it got a little rugged, but just kind of survive it, and just a great game, not only for the entire team, but when your big two play, your best 2 players play, like Thomas and Stanley did, you're very often going to be a win. So yeah, there's no doubt, James, this is a Union team. Again, it's been a little bit of a bumpier path than last year, but they're headed, kind of right back in the same direction they were in, over the past several years.
We need our post-game scoring recap brought to you by Creative Edge, where design and construction come together with experience. From concept to creation, combining extensive construction experience with creative design processes, making your project a reality. Call 724-652-1372 for more information. We'll start with the Carlynton Cougars. Tay Dean, season high, 13 points, only his 3rd game back here in action for the Cougars. 11 for Jake Moldovan, 6 each for Jaden McKnight and Isaiah Berry, 5 for Lakai Turner, 3 for Lamaya Turner, 4 for Ryan Lewis and Justin Williams, and I missed 6 for Jaden McKnight. And those are the 2 right there. Ryan Lewis went with an injury in the 2nd quarter. McKnight ejected after a technical foul in the 3rd quarter. Your 2 leading scorers for Carlynton not on the floor for essentially half of the game. Did not help matters for the Cougars whatsoever. On the other side for Union, leading all scorers, a career-high 40 spot for Lucas Stanley. I probably missed one here, but I got it as 10 twos, 4 threes, and 6 of 7 from the line. If that math doesn't add up, you can go and yell at Mr. Dotson's class on Monday. He had 40, Braylon Thomas with 18, Dane Jonke 6, Grayson Blakely 5, Landon Eckert with 3, Andrew Gettings with 3, Rocco Galmarini with 2, and Mike Gunn with 1 to round out the scoring. And here's the number I liked. Scores by quarter, how about this balance? 23, 20, 22, and 23 for Union. Real consistent scoring throughout the game.
Yeah, that's kind of what you want, right? You go out there and you're consistent in how you score and the way you score, and that's exactly what Union did. Just kind of a banner night for the Scotties.
They do. They make the balloon in the basket with our post-game show, having fun down on the court. We had a lot of great plays throughout the course of the night, but our Melee Chiropractic play of the game, talk about that and one, and late in the first quarter that Braylon Thomas had, and really that kind of sparking even extra momentum for this Scotties team, getting that drive and the extra pass.
Yeah, it was like he, it was almost like he took about 4 defenders with him, got the foul, went up strong, just kind of showing off that upper body strength that he has, and that athletic ability and his ability to square the shoulders and get it up on the rim. All the things you teach, he did on that play. He was great all night, but that was a special play.
So he is your Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game recipient. Maley Chiropractic proud to honor Union's Braylon Thomas for tonight's Play of the Game. He'll receive his customized T-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of being tonight's Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game. You can view tonight's Play of the Game and the full list of the season's top plays going to lcsportsnet.com and click on Play of the Game. Congratulations, Braylon Thomas, your Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game. Let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game. Your MVP Insurance MVP of the game, Chris Birch.
Yeah.
I mean, tough to go with not going with the 40-point, and we're going to double check on the rebounds, but believe he ended up in double figures in rebounds as well, did Lucas Stanley. Just talk about what a performance you saw from him tonight.
He was awesome. I mean, again, he's got just kind of that cool, smooth look to his game, and sometimes cool is not a compliment coming from coaches, but in this case it is. He just kind of is, he's always in the right spot, he's always in the right place, and he doesn't ever take a bad shot, and when he gets a good shot, it seems like about 80% of the time it goes. So he's something special.
You want to do the honors, sir?
Sure. Yeah, so MVP Insurance is proud to present the MVP Award, MVP of the Game Award to Lucas Stanley of MVP Insurance, and Lawrence County Sports Net are proud to honor Lucas Stanley as tonight's MVP of the game. Lucas Stanley will receive a customized T-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of being tonight's MVP of the game. To view the full list of this year's game MVPs, go online to lcsportsnet.com and click on MVP of the game. Congratulations to Lucas Stanley for being tonight's MVP of the game. MVP Insurance. Call MVP for the win.
So that moves Union to 5-1 in section play. Rochester came in at 4-1. Did not get a confirmation on their score tonight. Avella at 3-2. Carlynton now at 2-4 in section play, and they'll be battling for their playoff lives, trying to maintain in that top 4 before the end of the season. Coming up next for the Scotties, they will travel to Cornell and Western Beaver next week before a senior night game against Rochester, and then at Avella to end out the section season. But again, peaking at the right moment are these Scotties.
They really are. We talked about it in the pregame, how since that loss on January 3rd to this Carlynton team, they've been playing a lot better.
Thank you, Chris Birch. It's, again, another fun time. Every time we're out here, hey, you're 5-0.
I'm 5-0 in this gym with the Union Scotties. That's right.
Gotta love it. We'll we will see what's going on next week. Plenty of games coming your way. Actually, Thursday and Friday for our schedule. Elwood City girls against Mohawk, I believe, is one of the ones we have on tap next week. And then Newcastle against Central Catholic on Friday for the boys' side of things. And then the final week of the regular season, 5 games on tap. Stay tuned. Plenty of great action, including that Neshannock Mohawk rematch, all coming your way at lcsportsnet.com. Again, thanks to Denon Bowen, Jamel Mitchell. For my colleague Chris Birch, I'm James Dotson saying so long, and stay tuned for more great action here on the Lawrence County Sportsnet, powered by LCAP. Enjoy your evening and your weekend, everyone.